And hello to everyone at home. I am your moderator today, Kate Klimo. It's a pleasure to have you with us. We have just successfully completed our first forum with candidates from Districts 3 and 4, and now we are moving on to the candidates vying for District 2. And for those of you who have just joined us, please keep in mind that today is not a debate. It is not a platform for direct, angry exchanges between candidates. This is an opportunity for the candidates to present their views on business-specific issues impacting our community. As such, we would ask the audience to refrain from any positive or negative reactions to the positions that the candidates will convey. Now, while some district-specific issues may be discussed, it's important to note that each candidate will ultimately be serving everyone in the city of Irvine, and we have prepared today's questions accordingly. We may not ask every panel the exact same question, but we do aim to cover key topics, including business and employee retention and attraction, housing supply, and infrastructure, among others. For timing purposes, each answer will be limited to 1 minute, and there is a timer on the right side of the screen for you to take a look at. With us today are Greg Chen? Sorry. All right, whoever wrote the script. Demerits on that one. I sincerely apologize, Gang Cheng. William Go and Jeff Stark. Okay. As we did for the first forum, each candidate will have 1 minute to introduce themselves and share why they are running to serve on Irvine City Council. And with that, Gang Cheng, that's first up for you.
Dear friends and neighbors, my name is Gang Chen. First name spells like gang, but pronounced like Gang. Irvine is a great city. However, there's definitely room for improvement. The quality of life has gone down in the past few years. The main reasons are the recent crime issues, traffic problems, and increased housing prices. I graduated from USC in 1993 with a master's degree. I have lived in Irvine since 1997. Irvine gave me and my family great opportunities, and I want to give back to the community. That's why I'm running. I'm a licensed architect, a lead APBDNC, and a real estate broker. I have served on the city's Green Ribbon Environmental Committee. My campaign platform is one vision with 3 focus. The vision I have for Irvine is to become a first-class city while still maintaining its unique features. My focus are safety, traffic, and managed growth. Irvine belongs to all of us. Let's work together to make Irvine better. I'll be honored to have your vote.
Thanks very much. All right, William.
Good afternoon, everyone. I feel right at home here, actually. I came to Irvine through school. I went to University of California, Irvine, here right in our backyard. I started working after school for Broadcom. It's an engineering firm, and this is actually the headquarters for Broadcom at that time. This is building 2, so thanks for hosting here. Very comfortable. And then I went back to UCI and got my master's degree, an MBA from the Mirage School. I started my own company, and now I probably employ thousands of families. So I'm running for council because I've been working with the staff, city staff at the Great Park as a committee member. Been the last few years planning that Great Park progress. Worked with the tenants, worked with the residents, moved it along pretty far, so it's now under construction and moving along. I'm also the transportation commissioner. I actually ran and operated the bike shop here locally at UCI. A very big proponent of active transportation, addressing our traffic needs here in Irvine. That's why I'm running. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Jeff.
Hi, my name is Jeff Stark. My family and I moved out here in 2014 from Michigan. So we've been in District 2 for about 10 years now, Cypress Village and Portola Springs. I immediately dived into volunteering at my children's school, Cypress Village Elementary. I was on the PTA board for 4 years. With their schooling ending at Cypress Village, I wanted to find another way to serve my community and be involved. And with district elections starting, I thought that would be a good opportunity. Our district is a relatively new district. Most of the stuff's been built in the past 10 or 15 years. So we haven't had a lot of political representation at the city. And I think that's led to some of our issues being overlooked and maybe not prioritized. I want to focus on those issues that are unique to our district, such as the terrible condition of Sand Canyon, not having retail in the Great Park, and also the e-bikes. E-bikes is a huge issue which we need to corral, but that's more for the whole city. And I'd also like to see us build more affordable housing, which is good for everybody. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Should be no surprise, many of those things we'll be diving into a little bit deeper here. So let's get started. We're going to focus our attention on attracting and retaining businesses in Irvine. We're going to start with William on this question. What do you believe can be done at the city level to help businesses thrive in Irvine?
Yeah, the biggest thing we can do to address that is housing. Obviously, we want people to be able to afford to live here in order to attract talent to work here. So in our district, there's the transportation area by the train station. Great opportunity to build a lot more high-density mixed-use homes, get a diversification of products so it caters towards the workforce, new graduates, younger generation, so they can continue to feed the workforce here and companies keep moving here. And more favorable treatments for businesses. It's tough right now in this economy. Obviously, the inflation's getting rampant and out of control. We need to work with our businesses and make sure that the rents are in line with the type of products and the mix of products we want to be able to provide as a city.
Thank you. Jeff?
I would agree with William. Housing is a big issue. People don't want to locate here if they can't afford to live here. But another aspect of being a good place to open a business is how do people get to work? Irvine's population almost doubles every day from people traveling from other places to Irvine. So as we build up our transportation system within Irvine, we need to make sure that it connects to the county so people can travel into work more easily and reduce our traffic. We need to make sure that we have high-speed internet to all areas of the city. I know the newer areas are probably well-served, but some of the older areas are lacking, and that's a very important part of business. And that's it.
Okay. Gong?
I think the number one concern we need to do, number one thing we can do is to make it City of Irvine more business friendly. We want to give business incentive for them to come here. And of course, we want to help business to be able to find better rent here to do the business efficiently. Yes, we do need to have more housing in Irvine, but we want to grow responsibly. The reason why we want to be in Irvine is because Irvine is a very nice master plan community. We have a great master plan. We need to follow through, for example, the village concept. We need to have shopping, retail, and school within about 1 mile radius so that people can walk and buy to where they are, to school and get shopping. So that's why we need to restore the village concept. The reason why we have less retail in Portola Spring and the Great Park is because we deviated from the important village concept. That's the concept set out by the original architect, William Pereira. I'm a licensed architect. I'm going to carry the torch of William Pereira and make Irvine better.
Thank you. Great. All right, Jeff, we're going to start with you on this one. We're going to dive into workforce development. In your role as a council member, in 1 minute, please share what you would do to assure the city is growing its own educated workforce, and in other words, a prepared workforce for the jobs of tomorrow.
Irvine is very blessed in that we have this wonderful institution within our borders. We also have Irvine Valley Community College. So we have a wealth of talent being educated and coming up to, hopefully work in Irvine. I think the city should look to develop the talent that we need for specific roles, what's lacking, and work with the schools to make a workforce pipeline where people have a set number of steps or a set pipeline direction that they can go into industry and, use their degree.
Great, thank you. Gong.
Yes, we want to make sure that we as a city council, we need to help the Irvine Unified do a better job. They are doing a great job already. I have 4 children. They all gone through the Irvine Unified School District. And we are also really lucky to have IVC. It's a very great community college. My daughter Amy just graduated with an AA degree and she transferred to UCLA. This is all great examples. And Irvine Community College, they are very career-oriented. Whatever they teach is related to the job. So people study there, they can easily find a job. That's great for us. Educational is a great pursuit of knowledge, but it's also very important for us to have the education that tailor to the job market. The skill they learn need to be helpful for them to find a job. Thank you.
Thank you. And William.
Yeah, so I just started working with this initially with Dr. Jeff Kim, one of the Irvine Unified Trustee Board, and I'm also endorsed by the Carpenters Union. So I bridged them together to make sure that kids, as you go to college or school, that there are other opportunities out there, and we're putting together that program for them. And also another example is right here, you're sitting in this very seat. I have attended Mirage School of Business. So we have a lot of outreaches, a lot of different programs to get industry involved. We want to make sure there's growing list of companies that are interfacing with us as a university as well, working with the community colleges on top of that, and making sure there's as much educational environment available for that we train workforces to get ready for the next generation of technology.
Okay, thank you. Well, now we've talked about workers, but they need a place to live. So housing is a key issue in this region. Irvine needs to plan for more than 23,000 housing units, according to the most recent State of California Regional Housing Needs Allocation, RHNA. And ultimately, those units need to be built. So what steps can the city take to increase housing supply in Irvine? And we'll start with Gong.
I think very important, we need to use a market approach. We need to do comprehensive research on what kind of housing units needed in the market, and then build accordingly. For example, I have a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom apartment, home, but now it's too big because all my kids grown up. I was looking for a 2 or 3 bedroom housing unit to buy, but I could not afford to buy at this time, maybe next year. So you need to build according to people's need. Right now, most of the young people, they need to have 2 or 3 bedroom, not like 4 or 5 3-bedroom or mansion. They want to have a smaller unit. So you need to tailor the housing supply to the actual market need. And again, we need to go back to the master plan. Whatever we do, we need to maintain the master plan, and we should not deviate from the original master plan, the village concept. Thank you.
Thank you. William.
Yeah, so the easiest answer to get this addressed is higher density. I'm used to high density. I've lived in the areas here by Villa Siena, by the high-rises watermark, pretty high dense. But we have to get even higher density beyond that because the cost for those units are over $1 million these days. So shared kitchen facilities, just more careful planning so that we can really customize housing for the generation that does need it, which is the working class. We must make sure that the Irvine Company, as they build, that we have the income restricted or affordability units as mandated per state and city guidelines, and just keep focusing on the areas where we can grow, which is the airport area, close to here at UCI, over at the Great Park, where there's a little bit more land, and also at the Irvine Spectrum area, where we can build higher density housing.
Great, thank you. Jeff.
I support the new general plan from Irvine that calls for the 60,000 new units. That's a transit-oriented development, so it's dense units near the train station, the Spectrum, which is already pretty dense, and then the Irvine Business Center. I'm hoping we can encourage the Irvine Company to redevelop these sites to be more mixed use, which is going to give us additional commercial space for businesses, which I think will help bring down prices overall for smaller businesses. It doesn't contribute that much to our traffic or pollution because people are living and working in the same place, which is good. And it gives companies a way to recruit, that people can move to Irvine and actually afford it. And to have a variety of incomes in one place, I think makes for a stronger community. And I think housing is a linchpin to solve a lot of our equality issues in society.
Great, thank you very much. All right, William, this question will start with you. For years, Irvine has led the way in terms of sustainability and environmental stewardship. There's been a lot of work in Irvine centered on the Climate Action and Adaptation Plan, known as CAP. So here's the question. Do you believe the CAP should be an enforceable regulatory document with mandates on the business community, or should it be a guidance document? And what do you believe is the most important element of CAP as it relates to decreasing carbon emissions? I know that's a lot for a minute.
Yeah, I like the hybrid approach. You don't always want to make guidelines and rules and later change, and the business can't economically adhere to it. So that would be detrimental, obviously. We want to make sure that we we listen to both sides. In order to reduce greenhouse effects, I do support OCPA, which is green energy, sourcing for much cleaner energy into the future. We need to keep working hard every day to make sure our environment is sustainable. So that's, there's a lot of sources now available with solar being prevalent. And that's really the main factor. And also reducing carbon emissions from cars. Really believe in a stronger, more commutable area for Irvine, which we're working hard towards in creating these new Class 4 bike lanes into the future.
Okay, thank you. Jeff?
Yeah, I think it would be best to work with business and we come to a consensus on what we can achieve and when, so we can have an enforceable plan that we all know the rules to and that we can all stick to. I believe fossil fuel burning in buildings and in vehicles are the largest contributors to greenhouse gas in Irvine. So having more mass transit to get around the city, having more bike lanes that are protected to get more people into biking, and then also generally phasing out fossil fuels in our buildings, not building new buildings with fossil fuels, could definitely help all this. Rolling out solar panels to more areas, more apartments, more the affordable housing could also, help those people save money. And, it's a win-win. You're decreasing carbon and you're also helping people's budget. And I think the city can do that with the surplus that OCPA produces every year can go back into those type of programs.
Great, thank you. Gong?
I believe this should be a guideline and voluntary plan, not mandatory, okay? Because I'm a licensed architect and also a AP, BD&C. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. I actually, in the past several years, I have certified helped many buildings get green building certification. Okay, I work closely with U.S. Green Building Council and Green Business Certification Institute. I also serve in the city of Irvine, Green River Environmental Community. Right now, we have a tremendous opportunity. We are going to build a new library in the Great Park. This library will be a library for not just library for books. It will be a library of e-books, and you will have free Wi-Fi, free broadband for everybody, and it will be a LEED certified building. That's my vision for this plan. And another thing we can do is we can stop the OCPA program and get the money and use it as an incentive for the residents to install solar panel. That way we could have thousands and thousands of solar panels and make the city green. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, Jeff, from sustainability to basic infrastructure and mobility, what do you believe the city can do to lessen traffic throughout Irvine's streets?
We have a wonderful program, Irvine Connect, that's doing great. I think the ridership's up 80% since it started in the summer. I think we need to expand that network into more of the villages, connect it to more of the places that people want to go, need to go. That would get a lot of cars off the street. More protected bike lanes, we get more people on bikes. Most of Irvine's flat. The weather here is gorgeous most of the time. So it's a perfect place to be a bikeable city. And another big aspect of our transportation that's often overlooked is students getting to primary, middle, and high schools. I know my neighborhood has 250 kids that have to go 5 miles down to another middle school in another village. It can take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes to go that 5 miles. The difference in traffic between the summer and then the first day of school, night and day. I think that's easy hanging fruit to get kids out of cars into a bus like most other places in the country and significantly reduce traffic in the morning and afternoon.
Thank you. Gong.
I think Irvine, there's a traffic problem because we have traffic during the rush hour. If you go on to cover maybe 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, it could be empty, the street. So depending on how we plan the traffic, okay? The number one is we need to go back to the village concept. If you use the village concept to have retail, shopping, and school within about 1 mile radius, you substantially reduce the amount of traffic in the main arterial street. Okay, that's number one. Number two is, of course, we want to encourage students to bike or walk to school. Number three is we need to work with Irvine Unified School District to come up with an alternate plan for them to start their school day maybe 1 hour early to offset the rush hour. Right now, the rush hour of going to work is overlap with the rush hour of going to school. Any day you have no school, you see the street is like 50% clearer. It's almost like, wow, this is the Irvine we want to live in because there's no traffic. So a substantial amount of traffic is from the school or shopping trips. Thank you.
Thank you. And William.
Yeah, so I sit on the Transportation Commission for the city of Irvine. We just actually approved that street widening project here on campus between Jamboree and University. That's going to be now 2 lanes both sides and with a class 4 bike lane. So the answer is reinvestment and working together as a community. I see folks from OCTAs here as well, having good partnership with them, having a dialogue and always communicating how to make things better in terms of public transportation. And then also, I commute everywhere by e-bike as much as I can. Irvine's got great trails, great protected paths already as we speak. We'd like to increase that to a lot more in the future. I'm a big proponent of that. I always like to see a lot more cyclists in the roads than cars. Then it becomes safer to be on the bicycle rather than the car. And all of us working together, that's what it's going to take to improve the transportation as we grow.
Great, thank you. All right, Gong, this question starts with you. When it comes to public safety, what is the most pressing need in Irvine, and how would you address it?
Number one, we need to kind of turn the culture around. I think it's in the past few years, it's a little bit going too far left in California and the nationwide. So we need to help police to do their job. We need to make sure they have enough funding to do their job. Irvine police has been doing a great job, but I was talking to the police chief and all those police committee. They said they have problem recruiting people because the culture is like, being police is not cool anymore. That's wrong. Being police is great. Police has helped protect the community. That's why we can make money. That's why we can go to work. That's why we can go to school. So we need to turn the culture around. Police are good guys. They're not bad guys. Okay? So we need to make sure that we fund the police, and also we need to work with the state legislature to kind of be tough on the retail crime, like the smash and grab crime, all these Proposition 47 that $950 or less, it becomes a misdemeanor. That set the free gift for the criminals.
Thank you. William.
Yes, I'm very proud to be the only candidate endorsed by both Irvine Police Association and the Orange County firefighters. They know I will work hard with them to ensure that we stay in the Orange County system and they get the resources they need. We need to keep funding public safety here. That's why people live here. That's what's important for a lot of the, 100% of the folks. That's what makes Irvine Irvine. Constant vigilance to make sure that the bad elements stay out of our city is important on time and time again. As we grow as a city, the element starts to come in. And just always working and having technologies, invest in technologies. There's a lot of AI tools these days, a lot of software tools. Make them more efficient with all the technologies coming up these days.
Great, thank you. Jeff.
I think the fire we had in 2021, where it came right to the edge of the city, is a good reminder how perilous we are where we live. And I think the fire evacuation plans for Orchard Hills, Portola Springs, really districts 1 and 2 needs to be tightened up and improved. I believe crime overall in Irvine is down year over year. So I think the police, for major crimes, they're being very effective. People are stealing things, they're arresting them. What I hear the major gripes for people are, traffic safety, traffic enforcement, petty crime, like having their packages stolen off their porch, and e-bikes. I mean, that's up like 100%, the injuries. Bikes are just running into stopped cars and then they're riding away. I think we need to have a system in place where we're tracking these bikes and there's consequences to dangerous riding. And I really feel like our police need to be out in our villages more, in the interior streets, surprising people who are stealing packages, or maybe even on e-bikes themselves to interact with the kids.
Great, thank you. Next up will be William. This first question will go to you. Irvine has and continues to recover well after the pandemic. This year, the current City Council passed a 2-year balanced budget of $253 million. Is there anything in the current budget that you believe needs to be revisited or addressed? And, I'll save the compound question. Is there anything in the budget that you feel needs to be revisited or addressed?
So I work a lot with our neighboring cities. We should be very grateful and happy that our city has the wealth and the resources to function in the positive every year in the black. So that's one thing we have going for us. In terms of what should be revisited is for one, I live here. I love the community services we provide. I take advantage of the aquatics facilities that's available here in our city. Our community services department does a great job. So much resources being put in for classes, activities, events. I live at the Great Park, so we have a wealth of events there. We just have one actually coming up soon, which is the Irvine Global Village, which everybody should attend. Just putting more focus and make sure these resources become available time and time again every year.
Okay, thank you. Jeff?
Generally, I'm very happy with the budget. I think it's a prudent budget based on the amount of revenue that the city brings in. We're spending a lot of money the next few years for a lot of capital improvements. We're building a bridge over the 5 for Jeffrey Trail. We have $800 million worth of bonds for building infrastructure in the Great Park, including amenities. There's just a wealth of things that's going on in Irvine that is an investment in our future. You know, updated infrastructure, bike lane and cadence, which goes through the Great Park, passing 3 or 4 schools in its course. So I think these are important to make sure that as Irvine grows, we're able to address problems like traffic, pollution, and yeah, I think we have a prudent budget for our city.
Thank you. Gong?
If I'm elected into the office, the first thing I do is to work with City Council and get out the back deal with OCPA. So we need to use that $1 or $2 million per year as incentive for our residents to put solar panel on their roof and install battery to storage those solar panel generated electricity. Another thing we can do is, in the past 10, 15, 20 years, IPSF has greatly helped IUSD because City of Irvine actually donate a certain amount of money for the parents or business to match the funding to IPSF. Because Irvine Unified has been doing a great job. They are underfunded. If I'm elected, we'll look at the budget, see if we can maybe increase some of the match funding for IPSF to make our education even better. That's what I would do. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I lost track of where I was. All right, Jeff. I need to write better notes for myself. So, as part of the budget, $85 million has been earmarked for capital improvements. As you take inventory of the city's infrastructure, from roadways to public buildings to the Great Park, what do you see as the greatest need facing Irvine?
Facing District 2, it's definitely Sand Canyon. It's 500 garbage trucks going up and down that road every day, mixed in with bicycles. I mean, that's not how a surface street should be in a city. It's going to go up by 40% when the dump in La Brea closes. We need to fast track a off-ramp off the 133 right into Bowerman, B Canyon Road, take all those trucks off that road. It's going to last longer. It's going to be safer. We need to realign Marine Way, which is at the intersection of Sand Canyon and the 5. It doesn't line up with the other intersection, and it creates just a huge traffic headache for residents and visitors trying to exit the Great Park. It's incredibly dangerous for pedestrians to be involved in that anyway, trying to get across the street. And also, there's no safe way, I don't think, to ride a bicycle out of the Great Park on Marine Way. So I think those are the 2 biggest infrastructure projects I see from my district's perspective.
Thank you. Gong.
I think the number 1 priority is to build a world-class library in the Great Park. I have the same number of libraries since I bought my first home here in 1997 in Irvine. We have the 5, whatever the library, the number of library. We still have 5 libraries, the same as 1997. We're desperately need a great library in the Great Park. This library, again, it will be a high-tech library. It's not a library for books. It will be a library for e-books. It will be a community hub. And then you will have free Wi-Fi, free broadband access for everybody. And it will be a great place for the kids that are playing sports because they have siblings. In the summertime, it's very hot. They have no place to go. the library will be a tremendous help for them. It will be a shelter for them. And then this library, we are going to look at it at city scale, community scale, and building scale and retail scale. Make sure it's perfect. It will be it will be a sample for the world as a library. Thank you.
Thank you. William.
Yeah, I have a quite practical approach to that issue, actually. I have a real estate background, so I've been studying a lot of the real estate assets the city does own, especially in our area at the Great Park. We've inherited quite a bit of land through the acquisition from Five Points. So I would like to get at least all the assets that we do own and, number one, optimize it for city use, community benefits, or number two, how to recapitalize it so that it could produce some income for us as a city. Land in Irvine has gone up quite a bit. There's a lot of use, economic use for a lot of our assets here that we own as a city. Number one, like that train station area, we've had that snack bar area at restaurant that's been empty for a few years now. Would really like to get that turned into something where it could really benefit the community or use it for something else that produces some income. That parking structure over there belongs to us. We've used it quite a bit for other things, parking cars and doing that. So optimizing our assets is my focus as a council member.
Great, thank you. Okay. Now slightly more esoteric questions. How will you be responsive to citizens and to support and improve citizen involvement in city government as a member of the city council? And we'll start with Gong.
First of all, I will have an open door policy. I put my cell phone in my campaign website. They can email me, they can call me, they can come to my office anytime. And also, I will promote a lot of our residents to important committees like Green Ribbon Environmental Committees, Childcare Committee, Finance Committee, to make sure they're involved. I will also probably go to the different part of the community to hold town hall meeting to listen to people. We need to be a great listeners. Communication is the key. A great part of the communication is to listen to people, understand what they need, and then we can sit down together, work with different stakeholders to come up with a solution for everybody. So that way, we can make the community better and make our city better. Thank you very much. And I'm speaking to all the voters. Please vote for me. I'll be honored to have your vote. I will make Irvine better for you. Thank you.
Thank you. William.
Yeah, so community involvement is very important. But generally people want to do what they love to do. So talking to people, having open lines of communications and understanding what it is they're passionate about and aligning that with services that the city provides. Like for myself, when I moved to Great Park, I saw all the development going on and that was my passion. So I got involved. I talked to, at that time, Farah and Councilmember Tammy Kim, and they've appointed me to that. And I've used the time, I've enjoyed the time wisely and met a lot of people and was a part of that project for the last few years. And that's a great addition for everybody to be a part of. And I participate at the aquatic site as well. I'm a certified lifeguard at Willett part-time. I love volunteering and helping people learn to swim so that make sure that no deaths occur in the aquatic side. So I think everybody has their passion. If we get that to come out, we'll have a better community as everybody participates.
Thanks. And Jeff.
Yeah, it's hard to get people to participate because people are busy. They've got lives that are going on, and local government, unfortunately, is often one of the last things they think about. So I really think I need to meet people where they are. I think that's the town halls. I think it's finding the PTA events at the schools, attending those, and hearing about people's concerns when they're out and about, not necessarily make it a political meeting. We had a really great event in our neighborhood. We had 4 pickleball courts open up, and we did a grand opening for it. And it was just going to be a tournament with like 60 people. But then we're like, hey, why not pull out a popcorn machine and a cotton candy machine? And then businesses started to donate. So we turned it into like a carnival, and we had about 1,000 people come through this carnival. And I didn't talk to all of them, but I got to meet a lot of my neighbors I had never met before. And building that sense of community felt really rewarding. And I think it connected us all better, and I think it makes people more likely to turn to me when they have a problem. and that's what we need.
Thank you. Kind of along those same lines, Irvine is richly diverse, has a wonderful mix of communities. So how, as a leader on the city council, now that we have districts, how do you work to make sure there's unity in the community? And we'll start with Jeff, because I'm looking at you.
I would like to make sure that my commission appointments, I have a diverse group of people. I would like to make sure that the resources of the city are evenly divided. I recently found out about a problem with badminton. There's probably 2,500 people who've been asking for badminton courts for the past 3 or 4 years, and they've gotten 2 outside badminton courts. And you look at the other amenities that the city has, like 100 basketball hoops, 50 tennis courts. You have to look for where people aren't being represented. And then you have to stand up and be a voice for those people to make sure that the city is serving their needs. We have a lot of people in our district that can't vote or don't vote, but they still are our neighbors, and they still pay taxes here, and they deserve to have the resources of the city spent on them. And it's important to me that that happens.
Thank you. Gong.
Regardless of our racial or countries of origin, a lot of us, we all want the same thing. We all want to have good schools. We all want safety. We all want to have good paying jobs. We want to have affordable housing. These are common ground that unite us together. I have sit down with people from both parties. They are very nice people. You talk to them, they're your next door neighbors. If you don't get too, I'm kind of turned off by the too extreme far left or far right. I'm a more practical person. I want to get things done. I want to make our community better. That's me. So, yeah, I think someone brought out badminton. Yes, a lot of Chinese and a lot of Asian population, they love to play badminton. They have been asking for the past 3 or 5 years. They finally got one. And it's there, but it's a good beginning, okay? So we do definitely want to listen to our different group of people and try to come up with a solution to meet their needs. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And William.
Yeah, so the diversity is growing pretty quickly here, especially in our area. I think in the 2020 census, we have about 63% Asian American AAPI group in our district. And it's been growing since 2020. It's much higher now. So celebrating differences is the key factor, right? Instead of fearing them, we need to celebrate them. So I just attended the Fiesta and Latina event at the Great Park. That's a great celebration of a culture. Prior to that, we had the Mid-Autumn Festival, celebrating all Asian cultures. Really getting everybody out and seeing how great getting these cultures to mix and learning from each other. And as mentioned, badminton as well. We just purchased a $97 million gym. I mean, the city of our size was able to do that. And a lot of that is going to be slated towards adhering and making sure that the space is available for badminton players. And that's a great celebration of diversity as well. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. And with that, I'm going to thank you all for your time and your insights this afternoon. Let's give a round of applause to our District 2 candidates. We're going to take a slightly longer break because we only had 3 candidates instead of 4. So we finished a touch early, but that means more snacks for those of you in the audience, a little time for our candidates to engage with the audience, and we'll be back by 3 o'clock for our last panel. Thank you.